physiological change in our physique via our waistline or body fat and stuff. But because it is, as we're removing, Greg, right, that whole element or that whole food group, grains or whatever that were designed, by the Creator to have, that we burn out, and it short circuits our long term effort.
Yeah, it's so true, Bobby. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about the sustainability of some of these foods and how they sustain not only physical energy and our muscle energy, but also our mental energy. The brain runs off glucose, and we need sustainable blood sugar levels to maintain that mental focus as well as physical.
Smooth and streamlined. One of the neat things, too, is when you start to get in and break down the science over at M3, I think your clients find that, as you alluded to earlier, Miles, it really does stave off the hunger so that you're not filling up on no-nos or things that, we have the propensity to OD on, as it were. So, yeah, that hunger factor is key in any dietary endeavor.
Oh, for sure. The bolus of food that forms and sits there for pre-digestion in the stomach to go down, and then once it goes down, it does slowly digest. And I found myself that I didn't want to eat anything but a plant-based diet, because I like to do a lot of things in between meals. Like obviously I let myself digest that meal and everything, and let it go down out of the stomach after it's time it's supposed to be. But then in between that meal and the next meal, I like to do a lot of things.
Sure.
I want to, do activities. I want to get stuff done. I want to work on the computer. I want to do, all these things. So it really, to have good energy all the way through before the next meal and not have to be searching for something to pick up the blood sugar energy or get your focus back because you're getting tired, that means a lot. And I think everybody really feels that you're not hungry in between meals because of that bolus is just still slowly working itself through. And that's what's been shown through the science. It slowly trickles out.
Really, and we're all busy folks, right? And we have the not only the desire, but really the need to get certain things done, whether it's from an employer, a family obligation, or whatever it might be. And we don't want to be hung up without energy, and for all the requisite reasons you mentioned. The sustainability, though, I think is key. Greg, you were a key, an important key. Talk to us a little bit about that glycogen level, the importance of it, where it comes from, maybe, and how to maintain that from a healthy perspective.
Yeah, I can speak from my own experiences. Even whether it's working, if I have a busy schedule and I do physical, fitness training, so it's physical, and then also work out a couple times a day. So the day is pretty active and physical, and it's, as well as my workout program, my eating plan fits in there as well. And I try to develop my eating program to support my activity. But for years, support my activity and my goals. And for years, I thought, eating my fruits and vegetables good for sure. I've always known that, but also, have my protein, but also, incorporate some carbohydrates for energy. And, I would do this when I was dieting for competition or just in general trying to maintain energy for activity throughout the day. And I always found that my energy levels were not sustainable. That my blood sugar would go up and down. I mean, I could feel it. I'd eat a meal and I'd get back on my feet and get back to work, and I'd have some energy for literally, sometimes 15, 20 minutes, and it would just be gone just as fast as it came. And the same thing happened, with my workouts. I'd constantly hit plateaus where I'd think sometimes I was lacking hydration or rest or maybe supplementation. I thought maybe
Right.
components like creatine
Yeah.
or carnitine, something to help my muscle metabolism. And really, none of it worked. Nothing worked except for when I started combining my foods. I've always eaten the various plant-based groups and various foods that are included in those different groups, but I never ate them together, and most importantly, I never combined them together properly, like we teach people as M3 coaches teach our clients to do now. And what I found immediately, it was almost immediate, was combining these foods for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with snacks in between that also support my energy and metabolism. I found instant sustainability in my not only the way that these meals sit in my stomach and are slowly absorbed into my bloodstream, maintaining steady level blood sugar levels and good muscle energy and mental focus. But I also noticed that I wasn't hungry. These meals would hold me over, and I'm still surprised after years of doing this. I can construct meals that hold me sometimes 3, 4, even 5 hours, and at a time. And so for someone like me and you, Bobby, and even Miles, we're out there. We're still training, resistance training. Some of our goals include building strength and adding muscle. Having the sustainability for just level blood sugars and having that energy, that physical and energy sustained throughout the day, allows us to have constant energy and allows us to maintain our program with maximum output. As much output as much effort as we put into our work, that's what we get out of it. And that's really what I strive for.
Yeah, and Miles, I don't know, guys. Maybe it's just me, but while incorporating the plant-based diet and certain combinations, what a big takeaway for me is, it's my sleep. I now when I lay my head down at night, I find myself I fall asleep a lot faster, and the quality's good. And not to mention the fact that I don't need as much. Is there something to that, or is that just a placebo imaginary effect that I'm experiencing? What's that all about?
Well, it's interesting, Bobby, because that does come up a lot. It comes up a lot. That people notice. It could be one of two things, and we don't know too much about if it's just still a digestive process that happens, but we do know our nightly biorhythm is to get that rest and rebuilding and recuperation overnight, and we're supposed to wake up and at nighttime our body does have a more of a shutdown of certain parts of our digestion. And then when we wake up in the morning with the sunlight, right, that is when we're supposed to start that elimination process again. So that's a natural biorhythm, our elimination. So our system from top to bottom is supposed to go along with this natural daylight nighttime cycle. So
Go figure.
It could be two things, right? It could be two things. It could be that you get better work during the day, better energy during the day,
Yeah.
more work done, more brain power, and then your body's just like it's ready to get that nighttime. That's what I've found myself is if I get the right amount of work throughout the day and everything, and my system and my foods have been good, my meals, then I shut down at night and I wake up in the next morning and I feel rested. And then the elimination starts up again. So it is a natural biorhythm, and it may be just that you get more work done during the day, better work, and so you're really ready for that rest at night. You lay your head down and you go. But I'm sure it really has to do with that digestive phase of our excretory functions, let's say, are supposed to slow down at night, shut down at night, and then they wake up in the morning, and that's when everybody should be regular somewhat in the morning, right?
No, it's true. It's a wonderful benefit, and I think there's something to that as well. You are expending all that energy, and your mental capacity is enhanced, and so you physically your biorhythm is exhausted, and you're not. working like you said, Greg, like in fits and starts throughout the day. You don't have that spike in energy and then that lull where you feel like you have to go sit down or whatever. But very intriguing. The fad diet, how to jump off that roller coaster, if you will. You can find much more about this and other topics regarding the plant-based diet and sticky fibers, etc., over at mindmusclememory.com, a great site, M3, with founders Miles Beccia, Greg Rando. Guys, it's been another quick episode. The time flies when we're chit-chatting about this kind of stuff, and until next week, you guys are going to stay the course, I'm sure. Are you not, Miles and Greg? You're going to continue.
Oh, yeah.
We certainly are, Bobby, and we expect you to be the regular guy you are, too, next week.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I can't. I can't.
You didn't hear me?
Yeah.
No,
Gentlemen, you guys are awesome. And is there anything you'd like to add before we close today's program down?
Well, I just real quick on the focus of successes and the mindset of successes that you touched on with the fad diets. Maybe you have this quick loss of what you would say is body weight or inches or something, but it's most people, the percentages show that most of that all comes back. So we really like to say, what muscle are you gaining, rather than being so focused on these numbers on your scales, on what muscle can you use? What muscle do you have? What muscle can you use? And how good of an output can you have on that muscle? So you're actually elevating your active metabolism,
right,
instead of restricting and thinking. Your mind does not. We don't like to have failures. And if you've done a fad diet a couple of times, you probably had some failures. So look to get your muscles more active and have short-term successes in that muscle strength and output and eating well, and then you're going to find you're going to have long-term success.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Greg?
I think that's well said. Yes, I certainly do. And
I do too.
Yeah,
I do
without
too.
a doubt. And I also, want to add that it's good for people to start thinking about ways that they can bring other foods into their diet. It's something that I had been wanting to do for years. All these great natural foods out there, I sort of get stuck eating the same things, and it's good for people to maybe think outside the box a little bit about different foods they can bring into their diet, and then go over to M3 and learn about some information and some techniques on how to build your eating plan. And Miles and I and other coaches are available to help. It's a somewhat of a comprehensive approach to nutrition, but it's very intuitive as well. It just takes a little bit of instruction, a little bit of training to learn how to incorporate in certain different foods and build these meals. And there are some phases to go through to help ensure that individuals are comfortable and it's practical, it's comfortable for people, and they're absorbing their nutrients.
Yeah, it's got to fit. It's got to fit into life, and I think variety is the spice of life. Outstanding information.
Yeah, great.
So, for today's episode, we're going to wrap up with the mindmusclememory.com. Go on over there, check it out. Click on the link for your free book. You get some additional information, some consultation rather, and you have been listening to the Fit Diet Podcast, once again with founders Miles Beccia and Greg Rando. I'm Bobby Stein, and until next time, take good care.